All right. Welcome, everyone. Hey, Joe.
Hey,
How are you doing?
pretty good. Good day to discuss AI. Always is.
Right. Yeah. All right. So welcome, everyone. We were just waiting a few more minutes for everyone to join, and we're just gonna get started. And let me just quickly maybe introduce who I am and who Joe is, one of our favorite account managers in Bidex. So yeah, me. I'm here, Orkun, as a head of account management. I'm super excited to talk about AI and how sellers are right now using AI and optimizations, and what are the things that you can, what are the things that you should be careful about when using AI as well is part of the discussion that we will have. But yeah, and I'm here with Joe. He has been working with Bidex and Amazon advertising for I don't even know how many years, more than I want to say 7 years, 8 years on Amazon advertising expertise with at least a couple of years of Bidex expertise. So here we are discussing some interesting stuff, both about, I would say, overall AI in general, and also about Bidex Intelligence, which is our new AI tool that I also want to talk about a little bit. But before that, maybe, Joe, I'll just gonna get started with a quick question to you,
Sure.
and we're just gonna take it from there.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna be super direct. Hot take. Are AI optimization tools right now, Amazon advertising, are capable enough today?
I'd say not 100%. I think that there's a lot that we can get on the read side of the tool. There's two different ways to look at it. There's read and write in terms of what these different AI enabled Amazon tools can do, right? And reading is just saying like, give me this information, digest a lot of data, and give it to me in like a easy to understand way. And I think that's like super helpful. But where we haven't really seen it work yet is on that right side in terms of, okay, I have all of these outputs. I've recognized all these changes that we need to do. Now do it. We don't really see that happening a lot in terms of any kind of AI tool making those pushes. And as of right now, there's still a lot of human in the loop. There's still a lot of going through and like digesting the changes, analyzing what kind of outputs we get back. But then we actually have to do it in practice ourselves and put it in. Um,
Yeah.
just the only other thing I'll say too is there's still just so much in terms of hallucinations, if you will, or certain things that you should check that, and it can get kind of tricky because you can get a lot of really, really good outputs, but you still have to be looking at it with a very careful eye and make sure that what everything that's put in, you don't just say yes, 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 but you actually have to think critically yourself too.
Yeah, and what I also think with is like it's pretty interesting that the more AI goes into our life, the less we started thinking about the things that we would normally think about. So what I'm seeing is like normally I'm seeing from the sellers as well. They used to think about all the details and like let's take one simple example when it comes to inventory management. I knew that sellers had been working with different tools. They have been doing a lot of calculations. They were taking seasonality into considerations and everything. But right now, they just ask AI, get the output, and they trust it. It's good that we have this much of trust to the technology that is still, I would say, a little questionable. But I do think that, by the way, this doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not bullish. I'm 100% bullish on the system. This is what we are building right now. In I think I'm cutting off. Yes, in Bidex as well. Like we're pretty much bullish on it. But of course, as you mentioned, I think the sellers have to be just to make sure that everything is like at least read correctly. And the thing is, you were mentioning about read and write capabilities, right?
Mhm.
So the read, when it comes to the read capabilities, I do think that it actually helps sellers a lot. to have those different API connections. Let's say you are getting the data from Search Query Performance Report. You are getting another data from your advertising data. Recently, Helium 10 launched their MCP. You might also hear that. Pulling MCP data together, gathering your meeting notes from some other places. Like these are really, really, really great opportunities that I want to say it wasn't even possible before that. Like we all knew that you should be merging all of those data points into one place, but I don't actually know any tool or anyone out there that actually merged it before AI.
No. And I think that's kind of like the building off what you were going into there a little bit. I think it's important to like still try. And the funny thing is you can kind of see the horizon the more that you're playing with the tools, and you can see like what's coming next and what actually needs to be completed. But the question is the technology currently capable of it? So I think even if, you know, like we're saying, totally bullish, think that everything's going to go in that right direction. But in terms of just being able to see what comes next, I think that comes just from being in the weeds and trying things out. And of course, having that careful eye for what's actually going on too.
Right. Okay, I think that's a great segment. I want to ask about, like, you mentioned the horizon. What do you see in the horizon? What does an optimal advertising tool looks like for you?
Wow. I think an optimal advertising tool takes my job. I think that
Good point. Good point.
No, but I think that like the best thing we can get out of a tool is a piece of software, an AI-enabled software that is going to kind of give you pushes, give you certain recommendations that you should do, where it's almost like someone is coming to you kind of as like a strategic account manager, and it's bringing points to you, whether it's on a daily brief and it's saying, you know, it's trained on these different capabilities and what it should be looking for, and it's super tailored to your account. It's super specific and understands the full context of what you need, and it's proactive in terms of what's coming up next. I think that like this whole next frontier of AI is going to be all about this term of proactivity and what can the software provide to us rather than us having to interact with the software.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I mean, right now, even the ones that, like, even the tools out there, and I'm not only talking about the advertising tools, any AI tool out there so far is kind of like a hybrid approach where you still need to like react with the tool, like to work with the tool to be able to, for the tool to be able to do something, let's say. But as you also mentioned, what I'm seeing and what we are also visioning for DDEX and DDEX Intelligence is, I would say, is the same. Like, I mean, the ones that has been using DDEX would have already know that we already have all the reading capabilities. We already have the DDEX Intelligence where we can connect all the data points. But the whole vision and the horizon is more like, for me, having different agents. And what I mean by, I'm not using agent as like a cool term. I'm literally using like one agent is an employee for me, where it actually works for me. It checks everything that my employee would check. And as you mentioned, comes up with some proactive suggestions, and in some cases even actioning them without even letting me know. Because that's the whole idea, right? Like, because you hire an employee, the whole idea is to first train them properly. And I also want to talk about training agents, but maybe that's the next part. You train them, you onboard them properly, and then as a good manager, you don't micromanage. You just let them do their job, right? Because you trust them.
Yeah,
that's what I feel like we are trying to achieve. And we, as in, I'm not only talking about DDEX, in my opinion, like we as humanity, this is, I believe, where we are trying to reach when it comes to AI and its like overall capabilities. But yeah, of course, I do think that, as you mentioned, we are still a little bit behind in the technology, even though I love where we are heading. It is scary good. It always amazes me, like every day. The other day, I don't remember what I was trying to do, but it was something personal and something technical that I was just asking, could you please? And I wasn't even sure one of the AI tools, Cloud, was able to do it. And I was like, can you please do this? And I was like, no hope. And I realized it started building something, coded something, and then executed it. And then it was like, okay, here it is, it's ready. And I was super surprised because like it, even though we are using this day in, day out, it still finds ways to, let's say, amaze us, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah,
Right?
I think just the more, and what I'm hoping to see out of tools in the future, whether it's a BitX intelligence or whether it's anything else, is taking that same kind of approach that Claude has really revolutionized within the past 6 to 9 months, where you can have a big amount of context windows, and then based off of that, it'll be more like predictive on what you want. Even just from like a simple natural language prompt, it can spit out something super useful to you. And when you have that for any kind of tool where you have a very like specific task, or you have like a very, using a very specialized tool for something, I think that the gains in productivity and just overall effectiveness are just going to be insane.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And maybe speaking of tools, and you have been working with, and we all have been we are working with a lot of customers and clients and sellers, Amazon sellers specifically.
Yeah.
What are the tools and AI tools, let's say, or AI integrations that you're seeing sellers are using the most? It can be about BitX MCP, BitX AI. It can be something outside of it. But what do you see in terms of trends?
I would say like the most interesting thing that I'm seeing with my customers right now is utilizing the Keepa data. So like, I guess a bit of a shout out to BitX here, but it's mainly talking about market intelligence. We have that integration through our MCP where you can get specific market data for what's going on with Keepa, right? And so this is like super, super powerful, because before you used to kind of have to do these two things in tandem, where you could analyze either the market data first and kind of see what's changing there, and then as a result, look at your own ASINs, see what's going on, vice versa. I know you can like save your own ASINs, your own lists, everything like that. But I think just being able to have the real power of AI is being able to look at this huge swath of data, this huge swath of information, and then being able to give you a good actionable answer on what you can do, right? But when you like narrow that down specifically into the ads world of what's going on specifically with your product, and then more specifically within your market, the gains that I'm seeing from my customers from being able to just look specifically at those two things and get the data super easily has been super, super important for them. What do you see on your side?
Yeah. So I was thinking a few use cases. By the way, I do think that Keepa integration, like market intelligence integration into AI, was like at least in the top three. That's for sure. But what I've been also seeing is some of my customers, like if they are, let's say, seasonal sellers, what I've been seeing is that they were predicting and, let's say, forecasting their inventory according to by just using our MCP. And what they have been doing was like, just because, as you know, we have the search query performance data available, and then the search query performance data, for the ones who don't know what that report is, it is actually a report that provides you ASIN level, keyword level, market data, and your data. That also includes the search volume data. So what they have been doing was like they have been analyzing their past sales and combining that with the market intelligence, like how the market changed in the last 1 year, 1.5 years, and also combining that with the top keywords that they are selling for, because you can match the search query performance keywords with the advertising keywords that you are, or the search terms that you are generating sales from. And from there, using the search volume data as well, and coming up with a pretty solid forecasting model, which seems to be working pretty well for them. And another use case that I remember is something pretty recent. You know, now we have that 75 character limit, which is something that already started taking effect. I'm already seeing two. I don't know if you ever seen that, by the way. Like right now, Amazon has kind of shifted the titles. Now that there is the 75 character title, but the other title, the longer one, is also at the bottom. Like you're seeing kind of one title, one subtitle. Have you seen that?
Yeah. Still not used to it, but I've seen it.
Yeah. So what they have been doing is that they have been using the market data and their past advertising data to come up with all the titles that they want to have under 75 characters, using all the relevant conversion rate related, like the historic sales related data directly coming from their MCP, turning into a title, and then they were just applying it, which in my opinion was a cool use case as well.
Yeah, it definitely lined up well timing wise.
Right?
2 years ago, I think it would have been a much bigger deal.
I think Amazon was also expecting that. They were like, okay, since we have AI, I think we can ask all the sellers to decrease the characters to 75.
Yeah,
that's true. Okay, beautiful. And maybe I just want to quickly talk about what the horizon was that you were mentioning and versus where we are heading to as Bittrex a little bit.
Yeah.
Just to set the expectations, because we talked about not trusting AI. We talked about trusting AI at the same time. We are amazed with the tool. Like it's a little complicated, but at the end, I think what matters for the sellers is that they have to embrace this change because it is there. It is definitely impacting our life. Like if you're not using AI, if you're not using MCPs, you are already behind, in my opinion. And at least what we are doing at Bittrex as well is we're also embracing it. Like I haven't heard any tool yet that are embracing writing capabilities yet, which again, that comes with some responsibilities and restrictions that you need to keep in mind. But at the end, the whole idea is to have, as we mentioned, like a group of agents, employees that are working for you 7/24, that is just gonna take our jobs, right, Joe?
Hopefully not, but see how it goes.
Yeah, of course. What's that?
I welcome our AI overlords.
You're just playing safe right now.
But seriously, like I think that, like you said, there's a ton that we can get out of it. If you're not using it, we're behind. But the whole idea right now is, and at least for the foreseeable future, is this idea of just like a human in the loop. Embrace the technology, use it kind of like the way I like to think about it is in Mario. In Mario, you're little Mario until you can get the mushroom. Then you become big Mario, and you have different capabilities. You have more that you can work with, and you're stronger because of it. AI is the little mushroom. When you get it, it's going to make you more powerful. There's going to be more that you can do, and just utilize that human in the loop thing. Just be in there, use your brain, check out what it's giving you on the output, and then implement what you see fit.
True, so true. At least they get better with not hallucinating and everything. And when they are good at it, just let them do the work. I think they're gonna be better than us. All right, Joe. I think that was a pretty nice conversation, and I do think that we should keep them going. And I hope everyone who's watching was also enjoying this conversation, or if you'll be watching afterwards, because this is also going to be available on our LinkedIn and our YouTube channel. Feel free to reach out to us. Feel free to reach out to me, to Joe. We are on LinkedIn as well. And yeah, anything else, Joe, that you want to mention before we end our first official live?
I'd say that's all from my side. It's pretty close to dinner time in Berlin, so I think it is pretty much time to cut it. So
it is. All right, man. Have a good one. Thank you so much for joining.
Yep.
Cheers.
Bye. Thanks, everyone.